What's up? You got to bet on the white horse. That's my big suggestion. Always bet on the white horse. But you can't bet. Put it over this way. Whoa. You can't bet on the gray horse. It has to be like pure white. I can't watch horse racing anymore. And horse racing was probably my favorite sport to watch as a kid. But now I look at it and they are kind of abusing the horses. I mean, whipping them to go faster. I don't know. It's tough for me to watch now. Yeah, I hate that. And it's funny, the jockeys never get hurt. I mean, I'm sure there's been like one case. That's great, TB. I mean, I had so many fond memories of going to the track, Santa Anita, Hollywood Park. My dad was a legend at both, so we were treated like fucking gold. Hello, Queen On, get out of here with that dirty talk. That would be funny if there was a horse called Buffalo Bill. Of course, my two favorite horses of all time is it's almost a tie between Seattle Slew and Vigors, the Great White Hope. I mean, I just, as a kid, I didn't really realize that the horses are basically being whipped to go faster, and the amount of doping that was going on back in those days. I mean, I'm sure it's bad now, but like back then, like Seattle Slew, he wins the Triple Crown, and then it was treated literally like an animal. They wanted to do a commercial, I think, for Xerox, so they doped him up so he'd be relaxed. And then they flew him across country. After that, they doped him up for that. And then he got killed by J.O. Tobin. I think in the Santa Anita, I don't know if it was the handicap, or maybe it was at Hollywood Park. I forget where the race was at. And, it just was never the same again. Well, I'm sure they dope horses now. I'm sure it's like bodybuilding. People still take steroids in bodybuilding. They're just better at masking their drug intake. What up, Chris Mack? I should be getting... was it at Hollywood Park, TV? Thank you. I remember crying. I remember listening to that race on the radio in my parents' den, and I just was devastated that Seattle Slew lost. Like, what up, William Zoom? I want to do a GoFundMe just to see how stupid people are. Now, I put up a GoFundMe about a year ago just for a joke saying, I'm not sick, I don't need money, but I want to see how dumb you people are. And I got like $500 in the first 2 hours. Because people were in on the joke. And now they took it down, saying it went against their standards. What up, Ryan? You ever try horse meat? What am I, Alistair Overeem? Hello, hello. Where can I find that N-word tape? Is it on like Twitter? What do I type in the search engine? N-word lady? Like, I actually haven't seen it yet. But you just gotta. But Seattle Slew more than made up with it in the breeding. Was Seattle Slew a woman or a man? I'm not trying to be funny. And I wonder what Vigers was. But Seattle Slew in retirement was a pretty elite baby maker. Yeah, but I didn't get the 500. So Seattle Slew was a man. Do you know what Vigers was, TB? You seem to be in the know about the horse racing business. I mean, if you look at some of the offspring of Seattle Slew, you had Sloppy Slew, you had Tsunami Slew, Slew of Gold, and a couple others. Who is the best horse? So what's a colt? I mean, I know nothing about horses. The term. So a colt is a boy, right? And what's a female horse called? A female? Thank you, TB. I mean, my dad was a high roller at both parks. What up, Ray? Oh, okay, so colt, filly, and mares. Okay, thank you. Do you know what Vigers was, TB? The Great White Hope. Man, that was a fun horse to watch. What do you call a Jewish horse? All right, Ray, this better be funny. Well, now I'm confused. So a gelding. Why would you cut the... Jesus, dude, you're out of control, Ray. So a gelding has its nuts removed? So why would you do that? Wouldn't you want a horse to have babies? This is way too complicated for me. Oh, so they mellow out. Oh, I guess. Peter Chicken Man called Chad back, play his game. I was sleeping, so. Are you, well, that's a little personal. I see, I don't, I'm in between. I'm in the middle, to be honest with you. Yeah, but what's the point of having a male horse with no ability to reproduce in case they're good? What do you call a homeless Jew? I don't know, Ray. Did you just open up a joke book or? Oh, Jesus, you're going hard in the paint. You love the Jews, Ray. Show me the money, honey. I mean, I would think Seattle Slew's owners. I mean, they bought that horse at basically a horse auction. I think for like $1,800 because um, nobody wanted them. Most horses in captivity are in. Oh, I thought they just let the horses go at it. But I don't. And my mom, her family, what was it? Old Mill Farms in Cartersville, Georgia. It was a huge thoroughbred horse racing farm. I just saw horses and twos in the stalls, so I thought they just like, have at it, boys. Horse, send Chrissy the link. See, that's a Dabbleverse joke. See, I get it. That's why they held, so they can train into money, honey. They must have good sperm. I mean, Seattle Slew had a lot of babies. Like, so. Oh, yeah. Not only do I mean, now that's the exception to the rule. I don't think many Kentucky Derby winners are, I mean, basically nobody wanted this horse. So they bought it for like $1,800, wins the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont. And then I think the real money was the babies. I mean, they probably made $100 million off his babies. What up, Ross? What store comic would make the best jockey? Bobby Spade? I'd say Doc Willis. He'd beat the shit out of those horses. Yes, the Great White Hope. I'm sure Don King did not. But I can't find anything on Vigorous Vigors. I know there was a horse called Vigorous Vigors. Like it's not even. I saw something with Vigors pedigree on it, and it doesn't list Vigorous Vigors. I will do an 8-hour stream if someone shows me that Vigorous Vigors was alive and that I wasn't just imagining it. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing an 8-hour stream. Fuck that. Yes, the good old days of Danish and O'Neill. But like I went on some site that might have been the site I went on, TB, and I know there was a horse called Vigorous Vigors. It was like a big deal that this was like the son of Vigors, and it ran the same style. You know, you wouldn't think a horse would have a particular style. I mean, they're horses. It's not like they plan it. But yeah, here I have the best idea. Ross would make a good jockey. I don't know about that. Um, oh yeah, I could do that. Someone told me that's a great way to bump up the numbers is if you ask your viewers to just leave my stream on in their background and just leave it running all day. But I don't want to do shit like that. So Seabiscuit, how much for an eight? There's not a dollar amount in the world that I would do an 8-hour stream. I don't need the money, honey, that bad. Better Dabbleverse jockey, Chud, Stut Joe, Gino, or Stance. Well, they're all too big. I mean, there's really not a small guy. I mean, I'm trying to think of the skinniest person in the Dabbleverse. I'm only talking Dabbleverse because Chicken Man Brennan has elite 5-star privilege in the. I mean, oh boy, maybe. Man, there's really no one. Maybe Dr. Steve. Well, we don't talk about Hinchcliffe in here. We don't. I don't want to get on his bad side. He runs the world. I gotta stay cool. He would be a good jockey though. He's got like the perfect build for it. But he might beat Mario Bosco. We don't. You can't. Jockey's got to weigh 120 pounds, if that. There's no one in the Dabbleverse who's that skinny. I mean, maybe Pat Dixon would probably beat the shit out of the horse. Hey. No, what I'm saying is, I can't find anything on Vigorous Vigors. And really, there's not a lot of footage of Vigors outside of the Santa Anita handicap. But, back then, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming every racetrack has an in-house feed. Well, we don't talk about those rumors in here. This isn't the Ray DeVito show. We don't do that in here. Who's the MLC horse? Who's the MLC horse? Like someone who, I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about Borgo. I was on listening to one stream where he said he didn't think I was funny. There you go. I mean, welcome to the business, Earl. Gilbert Godfrey, he could have been a well. I mean, he's probably too big. I'm trying to think of a comic who's. I mean, Brad Williams. I'm not trying to be funny, but he's literally the size of a jockey. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's where Borgo has all his money. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting a. Hold on. Someone has just sent me something on Instagram. I'll keep their anonymity. I believe. Wait, Vigors only had 5 wins? Ew. Hold on here. Let's let's see. Kevin Hart's too big. Like he's too muscular. Like you need to be literally 120 pounds. And how many fucking men are 120 pounds? I mean, Doc Willis. Hold on. We have someone in the stream right now sending me some information, I believe, about Vigors. Let's see here. Dr. Ken's too big. Oh, here we go. We do have a profile on Vigorous Vigors. Vigorous Vigors. Foiled May 14th, 1980 by Vigors and Libel Ina. All right, well, he didn't do very well. Well, he didn't do bad. He had 38 starts. Oh, okay, this is the TB. Thank you. 5 first out of 38 starts. That's not very good. 10 seconds, $148,000. All right. Let's see. I must have seen as one of his 5 wins. Does it, let me see. Let's see what it says for Vigors. Callan could make a good jockey. No, he's too big. Vigors. Vigors had 34 starts, 9 first. That's not too bad. 6 seconds, 4 thirds. Did they say where Vigors is buried? Auction history. Let's see. I wouldn't mind going to the grave of Vigors. Are you Neil Armstrong? Well, no, I'm not. If I was, I'd have more than 19 people in this stream, to be frank. You ever been with a chick who's had a lobotomy? I think so. I think she did roast battle. Hello! Hello! Thank you, TB and Jenny. We'll just call you Jenny. Well, you know, I got to get a good picture of Vigors. I have a great, right here. I'll show you guys this. Let me turn the light on. I love me some Seattle Slew. There's a good picture of Seattle Slew. Jean Cruguet winning the 1977 Flamingo Stakes. So you could tell, I mean, he was the real deal, Seattle Slew. This is, I think, what did he win the Triple Crown in 77 or 78? I think 78 was affirmed. The great that was, I think 78 affirmed one. So that was when they had affirmed in Aladar. Great rivalry. Maybe, what up, VIP? You ever been with a horse that identified as a lady? Yeah, I think she did roast battle. Hello. Oh, can you talk about your German old shepherd? Well, that's a little macabre, maybe. No, I don't think I will. I mean, I love Eric Bischoff, but I can't imagine that being any good. Spade's too heavy. I mean, have you ever seen a real jockey? They're like literally 120 pounds. Ain't no one at the Comedy Store that we... Shit, there's very few women who weigh that. Hello. I don't think I will. 77 was Seattle. Affirmed was 78. Spectacular bid. Yeah, damn, that was a great run of horse racing. I mean, man, you got to feel bad for Aladar. He was just so close in every race. Who's backing that promotion? Because not many people have the kind of money to burn. I mean, it's probably a billionaire, you know. I'm sure Bischoff and Hogan know billion. Probably a super fan of Hogan who's like, I don't care if you say the N-word, brother. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, who cashes on the N-word money craze? Hogan, Gino, or Kramer? I'd say Gino. Gino's had a nice run with it. I don't really follow horse racing anymore. So, yeah, Ralphie May would not be a good jockey. The horse would be buried in the starting gate. Aladar was great. He just, Aladar is just like, if a firm's not there, he wins by probably 5 to 10 lengths. Um, so, you know, it's like the Steelers and, the 2000s. If Tom Brady is not in the league, the Steelers probably win at least 2 more Super Bowls. They just picked the wrong era to like poor Roethlisberger. Like if Brady's not there, Roethlisberger has at least 2 more Super Bowl wins. But the Steelers could just not beat the Patriots. So same thing with Aladar. What up, mama, little Esther? Do you ride, Earl? Yeah, but not a horse. Heyo. Uh, yes, no, I know who my old dog is. I just don't think people want to hear a story about a German Shepherd who died. But Annie was a great dog, I can assure you that much. And me and Chandler did a wonderful job of working with her. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about Ben Roethlisberger's off the field antics. I'm just saying, like, strictly on the field, he wins another 2 Super Bowls with no Tom Brady. What up, Jack? I mean, I can't really insult you because I don't know what you look like. So, Peter Dinklage, yeah, he might be a good. Now, if we're talking about celebrities, then we can branch out. But, I can't think of many. I mean, Brad Williams is really probably and I don't know if his arms are long enough. I like Brad, so I'm not like making fun of him, but I don't know if his arms are long enough to whip a horse. I talk to Danish every now and then. Yeah, but I think the Steelers had better teams. The Steelers had better defense than the Colts. So, I mean, it definitely would have been either Manning or Roethlisberger. And like I said, I'm not saying the Steelers would have won the Super Bowl every year, but it would have been back and forth. I think the Colts would have won 1 or 2. The Steelers won 1 or 2. So you think Pittsburgh and wait? So you think Pittsburgh and not Indy with Peyton? Well, let me get a picture of her. Look at that dog. Look how pretty that dog is. That's the day we picked her up. She really was. I mean, look at that face.
It was raining one night, and I didn't want Annie to sleep in the rain anymore. So I cried, and as usual, Earl did what I said. Hee.
That's a true story. I was driving back from hockey, and it was pouring rain. And Chandler called me crying. She said, I don't want Annie to spend the night anymore in that. She was in not the greatest place. I mean, it was just a bunch of rescue dogs in a warehouse. And, they had to kind of fight for their food. I don't mean like literally fight, but they had to be aggressive or they weren't going to eat. And Annie was incredibly skinny at that time. I have a picture of her before we picked her up, and she was like, you could see her bones and shit. So, no, she loved Lois, actually. The final couple, I would say the last month or two, her and Lois were chilling. And it took a little while for them because when we got Annie, Lois was with her mom. And then when we introduced the two, they, they were a little standoffish, to be honest with you. But then they slowly but surely started cuddling with each other. And, Annie was very protective of Lois, and Lois was protective of Annie. And the only thing that, since Annie was coming from a background of having to fight more or less for her food, she wasn't food aggressive, but she definitely liked to be the only one eating. So I started having to feed Lois upstairs in my bathroom, and Annie was so smart. She would see me walk upstairs with the food bowl, and she'd go into the bathroom and just stare at Lois. But she would always let Lois eat. Of course, I had to stand between them. Um, so, oh, I didn't see your message. I'm sorry, TB. I'm sorry. I'm blind when it comes to these. I see the dog with a pretty German Shepherd. Hey, see, I got that. I got it. My bad, TB. I respect you. I bet Chandler started a Burger King crown collection. Well, you know what? Like I said, sometimes the grass isn't greener, and you think, you think a lot of things, and then you get those things, and you're like, oh, you know what? The nice dinner stopped after about a month. So it became Netflix and chili. But that's all right. And with what I got coming down the road in terms of some gigs that my manager talked about with me last night, that grass just got a lot browner on the other side of Earl. Why do they call them rescue dogs? I've never seen these dogs rescue anyone. Well, you've seen too many Reno 911 episodes. Because we, the humans, are actually rescuing them. They are not. I bet you do, William. Well, maybe she could start dating you. I don't know. I mean, you might find a younger comic than me, but yeah, that's about it. New boot goofing. I don't know what that means. Well, never say never in this world. By the way, SCVID show, you might have had some faulty intel. I did some checking on our friend Bolivia, and I was told she would never get booked there. So, you know me, I've got moles deep into the New York scene. Deep. What up? Chicky Z. What up? Yo, 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 yo. Oh, okay. Well, I talked to someone who, I don't want to blow this person up, but let's just say this person at the stand would have a decision on who gets on the stage. And he told me, without me even saying anything, that she's too much drama. So, anyway. Did she, are you talking about Chandler, Queen on? I'm assuming you are, did she purposely move as far away from you as possible? Is that a coincidence? I don't think it's a coincidence. You talked to Ray? No, I don't talk to Ray DeVito. We don't, at the famous Ray is 1 month at the stand. I mean, no, thank you. I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, she had no ties to New York. So, no, we're talking about Chandler, not Bolivia. So, well, I mean, I'm on their website too, probably. So, I mean, I'm just saying who I spoke with would have direct knowledge, and without blowing up this person's spot, they told me she stopped getting booked there years ago. But I don't know. I mean, there's probably people on the Comedy Store website that haven't been booked there in a decade. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think for her, we're talking about Bolivia now. What is this? The Ex-Girlfriends podcast? That probably would be a good podcast. Um, you know, I don't know how to say this, but there's drama with her everywhere she goes, and I think she uses it as a tool to get booked, but then people get sick of the drama real fast. You know, which is always, what up, Michaela? It's always surprising that like she would do what she did with me, because she's very smart. Like she is for her age, she's very, very smart. It's because she's had a lot of unfortunate life experience, you know, that has probably toughened her up. But, she had to have, like, I think she thought, okay, well, I mean, I don't know what she thought. I'm just guessing. I'll tell people that Earl hit me and I'll get passed at the Comedy Store and I'll just get his spots. Like, no, you know, everyone gave me the benefit of the doubt because they know me. So, that's right around when that failed. She went to New York, and then I remember about a week after she moved to New York, I started getting phone calls. Hey, you dated this girl, right? I'm like, why? Yeah, but like, why? Oh, well, she's hanging out at the cellar, and she's trying to sit at the comics table, and she'll do whatever it takes, if you know what I mean. I'm like, hey, man, it ain't my problem anymore. So, you know, well, I mean, I meant like, I mean, SC. I don't. I mean, they were made up with me, you know. And I talked to one guy who she accused of a sexual assault because I had to bring him up one night at potluck. 100% William Zoom. I'll finish the story. Let me just catch up on the questions. Oh, I hate that, Chicken Man. So one night I'm hosting potluck, and one of the guys that she told me had sexually assaulted her, I had to bring him up. I want to fucking slug the guy because this is when we were still dating. So I said, hey man, I got to talk to you afterwards. So, I tell him, this is what she said. What's your story? Because I can't talk to you if it's true. And he told me the same story she told me, but the ending was opposite. Because she had told me that she had gone over to his house. She just wanted to cuddle. And he attacked her. Now, that sounds like a fairly believable story. He told me it was the opposite. She came over, he was tired, he just wanted to cuddle, and she attacked him. Now, that sounds crazy that a girl could attack a guy, but she's very sexually aggressive, let's just say that. So, he told me, you know what? I wish I did assault her because everyone thinks I did it, which is crazy, right? No, I mean, it does not involve marijuana. I mean, I don't know. I mean, probably 30%, maybe more, to be honest with you. Uh, yeah, 100%. Her side, his side, and the truth. Who wants my phone number? We don't dox people in here. Well, I know 3 of the 5 are playing a series of shows in like Indonesia or something, but Ben and Eric Dill, the original singer, are not participating. It's, I think, Joe, the rhythm guitar player, Kyle Patrick, the second singer, and Eli, the bass player. So, but in terms of getting back to what percentage of guys I think actually did what she said they did to her, I don't know. You know, I just think that, you know, didn't someone in here tell me that even Stanhope's crew is kind of distancing themselves from her? And that ain't good. Because that's a hard charging group. Well, I think, yeah, she likes being the victim. This is, yes, it is Glacier Freeze Ice. But I don't think, um, like, I'm honestly surprised that she hasn't accused Jeff of something. Because from what I was told, she stayed on his podcast floor for a minute. Um, and you know, I know him. I've seen the sales pitch he gives people. I think she thought she was going to be a star because she got all 3 seasons of Roast Battle, and that didn't happen. She burned bridges with Comedy Central because, like, and I don't know if I've ever told this story before. So I think at one point they were thinking of having a season 4 on TV. So they call me in for a meeting, and they were like, "Who would you battle?" And I said, "I want Olivia." I mean, I'm sorry, Bolivia. And the main guy, instantly, I mean, a second after I said that, said, "Oh, we're not using her again." So it's like, well, then there's really no one I want to battle. Give me Jimmy Carr in the UK. So I don't think there'll ever be another season on television again. So yeah, I mean, I don't think. But my point of saying, I think at some point she'll accuse him of something because she knows he has a weakness because he's been accused of that before, and he's, it's like, okay, you can be accused of that stuff once, but if another, but the problem is now, and this is just from what I know of her reputation, and I know some girls in the New York comedy scene who, yeah, she's really out there. Her reputation for truth telling is so bad that no one really believes her anymore. So she's the little boy who cried wolf at this point. I doubt Jeff is that. And SC, I'll tell you a story. I've only told William Zoom this story, but I'll send it to you on Instagram. Dr. Nova in the fucking house. Yeah, but I think the problem though is he probably sales pitched her. I'll get you on the roast. I'll get you this. I'll get you that. And then they fucked a few times, or at least attempted to. Um, and she probably put it together because she is smart from that standpoint. She probably put it together. Oh, he's not going to help me. And then ironically enough, he'll get the Earl treatment. Hey, he threw me down the flight of stairs. He attacked me. Blah blah blah. So I don't know why you would say that, troll. I don't know. I mean, listen. He's, I think, 2 or 3 years older than me, and I'm in 100 times better shape internally. It wouldn't surprise me if he did. I'm in the house, Earl. How come you didn't give me in the house? Well, Ambrose, there's a lot of people in here. I'm not used to doing a stream with 31 people in here. Who? So yeah, I mean, they just, they didn't lose. They didn't. Edmonton did not win the series. The Kings lost. I mean, they're up 2-0. They're up in game 3. Byfield doesn't clear the puck out. Fiala hits the post. Now, you can't get mad at Fiala for hitting the post, but, if Byfield clears that puck out, it's over. We're up 3-1 coming, or we're up to, I think, 3-0 coming back home, So it just, I didn't, no problem, no problem. So, now it'll be interesting to see if Bolivia and Chandler meet in New York. I mean, Chandler didn't really like her, so but maybe they can bond over their hatred of me. I don't know. Good luck, girls. You can team up; it still won't work. The letter, cannot be read unless it's 100 people in here, 100 likes, or I get on Guffeld. I'll read the letter on Guffeld. Hello. So. I mean, right now we would need 69 more people in here. So we got some work to do. But I do appreciate you guys being in here. Yeah, I'll read the letter in the Marv Albert voice. Yes, I really hope we can work things out. Yes. 40 minutes to post. Oh, really? Is it 4 o'clock? Really? I loved Trevor Denman. He was a great. How many horses are in the Derby this year? I thought we agree if my bro KB goes on blocks and the pod is uploaded, you read letter. Yeah, that's 100%. Um, yeah, I mean, I've only did one show with Gilbert Gottfried. That was Roast Battle. It is a good Marv Albert. I don't know why. I'm not very good at impressions. I mean, I do a decent Schwarzenegger. You guys know that. I want Hawkins' body found. We move. Sweep pattern. 5 meter spread. No sound. Oh, 20 horses? Okay. Here's a quick Marv Albert off the draw. Puck in the corner. Eddie Johnstone gives it out to the point to Barry Beck. He shoots. Hit the post. Billy Smith with traffic in front. Barely saw it. Beck over to Hospodar. He scores. Yes. Eddie Boxcar Hospodar. Thank you. I will be at the Comedy Store tonight. You do a great Doc Willis. Oh, come on, man. That was the best part of the jellies. I don't do I'm not good at impressions. I never have been. I think because my voice is so deep that it's hard for me to morph it in. Like I can do a good impression of the Indian from Predator because his voice was deep. I can't believe Jim Hopper walked into an ambush. I don't believe he did. What about his other men? They never left here. Just doesn't make sense. It is a good Marv Albert. All right, we got a scrum by the bench. We've got Ben Wilson and Beck grabbing each other. Holmgren trying to get in the fray. Now here comes the Maloney brothers. Yes. We make a stand now. There'll be no one left to get to the chopper. Yeah, Marv loved those prostitutes. Can you do Earl doing Earl? No, that's a tough one. Yeah, he didn't hurt no one. He's just a horny guy. All right, we need 70 more people to read the letter. Come on now. Yeah, I'm not around. Is this Earl Skakel or Tony Moss? That's an old school reference right there. Hello, ladies. I'm Tony Moss. Some of you may have heard I'm a prick. I am a prick. I got one interest, and that's the show. I can't use you if you can't dance. I can't use you if you can't sell. Marty, line them up. Jesus, take a look at these tits. This is the stage, babe, not the batch. I've seen you before.
Yes, Mr. Moss, you have. You told me to come back and get my nose fixed.
Very nice. Come back when your ears aren't sticking out. See ya. I hope you got some nice wigs, tennis ball. I bet you can't spell MGM backwards.
MGM.
Impressive. What kind of classes have you taken?
I've taken jazz, step, ballet.
The show's called Goddess. It ain't called classes. Come back when you fuck some of this baby fat off. Come on, man. That's a killer, Tony Moss. Yeah, like, subscribe, whatever it takes, man. Can you imagine Marv Albert with that prostitute? Yes, I'm about to come. I don't do Bill Cosby. Hey, we got 30 people in here and almost 30 likes. Other than nudity, he was the highlight of the movie. Oh, 100%. Well, because I don't know if he's gay in real life. I mean, he just passed away, I think, about a year ago. But he played a great gay character. Like, she's really got it. The question is, how? Earl, did you get that new manager? I did. I spoke with him last night. So, can you do a Jill Allen and Chandler doll talking about potluck and getting dude, that's a super chat, Peter Chicken Man. I mean, come on, man. Respect, respect. Jill Allen and Chandler never met, thank God. I can assure you this much. Chandler would not have liked Jill. Now, I never touched Jill. So, but, knowing Chandler like I know her, she was not going to be a fan of Jill Allen. Now, Jeff Richards does a spot-on impression of Jill and Tony Hinchcliffe. That is the best. No, the Comedy Store does not allow vaping inside. They kicked some guy out of the hallway last Saturday. He was just started vaping in the hallway. It's like, what do you think this is? Clancy's Pool Hall? Well, NBA is coming back to the NBC this fall. They just showed John Tesh. I got him a free membership at the Sports Connection back in the day. Yeah, I met Gilbert Gottfried at Roast Battle in New York. He was funny. He was doing this aristocrats type joke. And right before the punchline, the autistic kid from Roast Battle, he spilt a glass. So Gilbert Gottfried paused, and he just started the joke over again. You can vape but smoke weed. I mean, hey, it ain't my club. Are you Jewish? Well, who are you? The Mossad? Why would you give a rich person a free membership? I just thought it was funny. We don't do the Jew talk in here. I'll only answer that question for $10. Well, a Facebook dating app should just be called Black Women with Kids. Hello! That's a new joke I'm going to try out tonight. Yeah, Gilbert he was so funny. That time he was on the was the Hollywood Squares with Daniel Carver, and he kept asking Daniel what that word he kept saying was. You can smoke weed in the store. Well, you can't smoke it in the store. There is an area where people might smoke the hippie lettuce. So someone told me about an app called Woo. It's for fat girls. I went on it. Man, they ain't lying. That ain't false advertising on that. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Watched a Married with Children with Gilbert Gottfried. Tawny Katane, I think, was in a Married with Children, if I'm not mistaken. All right, we'll go another 10 minutes, guys. Another 10 minutes. And Daddy's got some business. I'm going to a GCW wrestling tonight before the Comedy Store. So I've got to take Lois for an extra long walk. Lois will be by herself for about 7 hours, and that's about her limit. Yeah, I mean, I had a run of dating. When I was 46, I dated a 27-year-old, and I thought that was bad. And then when I was 48, I dated a 19-year-old. And then when I was 50, I dated a 27-year-old. I mean, I don't have great body. I don't think Joey Janela is wrestling tonight. But, the great thing about GCW is they always have a surprise. Like, I know the Nemeth brothers just wrestled in Irvine tonight, or last night, so I could see them popping in. Good for you, Jess Jenna. I'm the Shawn Michaels of comedy. I'm not your boy toy, sexy boy. That's one of my favorite segments is when Kurt Angle and Sherry sang that. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Sabu, 60 years old, going through barbed wire tables. I don't know about that. But, he, and I think Sabu, maybe he'll be there tonight. He's probably not got anything booked. Marty Jannetty. I mean, if I were to say I was an 80s pro wrestler, it'd probably be the Ultimate Warrior. Not because I look like him, but I think it's because he's outspoken, and a lot of I'm not talking about the right wing stuff he talked about, but like in the wrestling world, he called Hogan a piece of shit, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're just bitter you didn't get his run," and look how right he was, So rest in peace, James Hellwig. Do you post stuff on here, or are you a OnlyFans model? Oh, it's just Jenna. Yes, plug your OnlyFans page. Yeah, I don't care. Plug away, guys. This is a stream where we all support each other. Plug your YouTube page if you have one. Good for you, TB. You should come by the Comedy Store some night, TB. All right, because I want you guys to watch the Kentucky Derby. And how much? What's the post, TB? I know you're on top of that. Are there any? Oh, it's 600 miles away. Never mind then. Are there any white horses in the race? I might make a quick call to OTB. SBC. I don't know what single black cock. I don't know what that means. I can't keep up with some of you guys. Didn't New Bomb Turk have an El Camino in Hollywood Nights, or was that his brother? My dad had a lot of cars, a lot of Lincolns. My dad was a Lincoln guy. Oh, small block Chevy. My bad, my bad. I thought SBC was like some code for big black weenies. Oh, I don't know, Chicken Man. I'm not sure what happened. Who's Jasmine Crockett? I don't know who that is. The Pie Wagon. Newbaum was a quick shooter in that Pie Wagon. That was such a funny movie to me. And the guy who played Tarzan in Hollywood Nights, he was the bartender in Bachelor Party. He had a nice run. What was his name? Gary Pendergrast? He was in that very short-lived show, Making It. I wonder if we'll ever see that at the Barrett auction. Can you imagine that New Bomb Turks Pie Wagon? I'd buy that if I had the money. If I had the money, honey. Yeah, R.I.P. Teddy Pendergrass, but we're not talking about him. I love the two hot blondes that Tarzan and Hollywood Nights was hanging out with. Remember when New Bomb's looking in the window, he's talking to them, and he's just staring at her tits? So you're Tarzan, you're Jane, and you're Cheetah, and what are their names? Hands off. Yeah, what a bummer. I mean, it's your time to go when you die in a golf cart accident. Now, my dad, what hole? The eighth hole at Bel Air is an elevated tee. And so to get to the fairway, you have to go down a very steep hill in your golf cart. It definitely was not designed that well. And my dad tipped the cart over, picked the cart up by himself. I mean, my dad was not a gym person. I don't think he ever went into a gym in his life, like literally not once, but he was just very strong. Picked the cart up. He had like 3 broken ribs, and on the 8th and 9th hole at Bel Air, shot 2 under. He was a freak, man. My dad was a freak. 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes, guys. Thoughts on Bill Belichick and his girlfriend? I mean, she can't love him. They say she has her own money. She has a net worth of $1 million, which on paper is probably under $1 million. He's probably got a net worth of $100 million, maybe more. He's making $10 million a year coaching North Carolina. So she looks a lot like Chandler, a little bit. So, I mean, last I heard of Chandler, she had cut her hair and darkened it. I probably wouldn't even recognize her. So, good for Bill. I mean, 73, fucking a 29-year-old. Good for you, man. I got no shame in that game, baby. So I don't hate. It's like when I was dating really young girls, people would be like, "How could you do that?" I'm like, "'Cause I can." You know, don't hate the player, hate the game. 3 more minutes, guys. Get your last minute questions in before I conduct my business. I don't take demands in here. I'll oil up when you hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah, that's smart. I mean, Rob Schneider had the best advice. He's like, there's only room for one star in my family, and that's me. I wish you guys could have seen my Dodge Magnum. I had that thing all tricked out. You think the OG Roast Battle comics can take on a gorilla? I mean, I don't know. I'd go with a gorilla. I don't see anyone hurting a gorilla. Um, so yeah, the OG Roast Battle comics. I mean, we were a motley group back then. I mean, someone asked me to compare this era of Roast Battle to my era. It's like, it's not even close, man. I've never met Russell Brand. I mean, my generation got 5 seasons on television, a best-selling book, really 2 best-selling books. There was one specific to Roast Battle, and then there was my friend Rafi wrote a roast book where 70% of it was Roast Battle, and also a documentary by the hottest director in Hollywood, Jason Reitman. So my era got 5 TV seasons, 2 books, and 1 documentary about it. This generation, 0, 0, and 0. Jason Reitman ain't making a documentary about this era. Trust me on that one. I like Rob Schneider. Now, if they're lucky, they get a night with Jeff Ross. Well, there's not a lot of work there. Actually, there is a lot of work if you're the girl. Don't ask me how I know. People come to me with all kinds of information. I'm like the guy in Heat that De Niro brought the bank plans from. How do you get all this stuff? It's all just out there. The great Tom Noonan. Thank you very much. 100%. What kind of car was that in Cobra? Awesome 50. Yeah, Rob's a great guy, and whether you like him or not, he does his own shit. Like, he produces his own movies. You might not like his movies or whatever, but like, he produced his own TV show, Real Rob. I mean, when I was on a few episodes of it, it was like a guerrilla shoot. We had like 2 hours to get in and out of a dispensary for the dispensary scenes we were doing, and he did it. He was directing. He was like, the funny thing was, in the scene, I'm making out with this guy's girlfriend, and the guy walks in, and she says to me after the first take, now I was lobbed up, so I had a mic on the inside of my shirt. She says to me, hey, do you think it'd be better if I was blowing you? And everyone in the back was like, yeah. So, yeah, I love Rob Schneider. He really gave me one of my first big breaks in comedy. So, Henry Rollins. And how about Henry Rollins and Sons of Anarchy? Oh, those tattoos. Yowza. All right, you kids. We've done a nice tight hour. Earl Skakel in the house. We'll probably stream tomorrow night. Maybe I'll schedule it, and we'll get 100 people in here to read the letter. If we get 150 people in here, I'll read the letter in Marv Albert's voice. Yeah, Jennifer Connelly in, was it the Opportunity Knocks? What was that movie she did with Frank Whaley? Opportunities, something. Zoom, help me out. The letter reveal. Okay, maybe. All right, you guys. I'm off to GCW Wrestling. And then my Comedy Store main room set, 12:15. On the button, Slick. Hit the like and subscribe button. Yes, career opportunities. I knew that. That's prime Jennifer Connelly. Like, wow. Young, beautiful, no wrinkles, big tits. I mean, she kind of looks like someone now that I think about it. Hello.